Okay, let's unpack this. We're living in a world that feels like it's accelerating.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Absolutely.
And nowhere is that pace more apparent than with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
AI is just fundamentally reshaping the future of work, which means the jobs of tomorrow, well, they might look nothing like the jobs of today. So the big critical challenge staring us in the face is this. How do we genuinely prepare students, K-12, kindergarten through high school,
Yeah, the whole range.
for an economy that's going to be so profoundly transformed by AI, for careers that, frankly, might not even exist yet? It's more than just a question. It feels like an urgent educational imperative.
It really is. And what's fascinating here, looking at the source material, is that many traditional K-12 systems, worldwide, they're really struggling to keep pace with this seismic shift.
Yeah.
The source we're diving into today calls this out as a significant education crisis. Basically, current approaches are often leaving students, ill-equipped for this AI-driven future.
So that's the setup.
Exactly. And our deep dive today zeroes in on a new platform, EON Reality's EON WealthWeaver. It was just announced June 25th, 2025, and it's specifically designed to confront these very challenges head-on.
Okay. So our mission today, then, is to explore how this EON WealthWeaver thing aims to bridge that exact gap. The idea, as presented, is to transform theoretical learning into tangible, real-world business success.
Practical application.
On preparing students not just to adapt to the AI era, but, and this is a quote from the source, to actively lead and create new opportunities within it. Big claim. We're going to see if it looks like it can live up to that ambition.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, the overarching problem isn't simple. It's that K-12 institutions, really across the globe, face this complex web of interconnected challenges.
Right, it's not just one thing.
Not at all. And these aren't just minor tweaks to the curriculum we're talking about. They're systemic issues. They fundamentally prevent students from developing the entrepreneurial skills, making the right connections, building the confidence they need.
To actually thrive, yeah.
Exactly. Traditional teaching methods, rote learning, isolated subjects, they fall significantly short when you're preparing young minds for such a dynamic AI-powered landscape.
So it's not just about adding an AI 101 class.
Precisely. It's about addressing a fundamental systemic gap in how we prepare our youngest learners for their whole professional journey.
And the source we have presents EON WealthWeaver as the first comprehensive solution to these systemic challenges. So that's a bold claim.
It is.
Especially in such a complex field, they're suggesting it's an integrated ecosystem, not just another fragmented tool scattered around.
Yeah.
So let's start digging into some of the most critical specific problems it says it addresses and, how it supposedly solves them.
Sounds good.
The platform material says it tackles 10 distinct challenges in K-12 innovation education. Things like curriculum gaps, funding access, a whole list.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive.
We won't delve into every single one right now, obviously, but let's spotlight a selection. The ones that really seem to illustrate this unique, maybe holistic approach they're talking about.
Okay. Well, one really persistent challenge is identifying high-potential student entrepreneurs. It's tricky.
How so?
Traditionally, K-12 schools often rely on, teacher recommendations, maybe some limited observations, which can, unfortunately, lead to biased selection.
Subjective.
Very subjective, and you misallocate precious resources. So EON WealthWeaver's solution here is its Wayfinder AI-powered selection engine.
An AI engine for picking student entrepreneurs.
Exactly. It's designed to objectively identify the top 1% of entrepreneurial students, giving them access to specific programs within the platform.
Okay, top 1%. That's a huge claim for an AI, especially for something as nuanced as entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And doing that across diverse student populations. I mean, what about the inherent biases in traditional assessment that it's trying to overcome? And how does the source explain it being truly culturally neutral?
Human bias creeps into data sets, right? That's a critical point, and the source does address it. It emphasizes that the Wayfinder AI uses culturally neutral algorithms. These were trained on, get this, over 4,000 startup cases from diverse global markets.
Okay.
The goal is explicitly to move beyond those subjective opinions, which, let's face it, can often be influenced by socioeconomic background, maybe prior exposure, and move to a data-driven approach.
Focus just on potential.
That focuses purely on latent entrepreneurial traits and potential. It provides transparent scoring, predictive analytics. The whole idea is leveling the playing field for identifying talent rather than, perpetuating existing inequalities.
Interesting. Okay, what's another major hurdle it tackles?
All right, another critical one. Technical development barriers. Students often have brilliant ideas, right? But they lack the technical skills to actually turn them into functional products.
Yeah, the coding gap.
Exactly. And at the same time, schools often can't provide adequate coding resources, hiring specialized tech instructors, often way beyond the budget.
Makes sense. So what's the fix?
For this, WealthWeaver offers the Vibe Coder no-code platform.
Okay, no code. So students can build sophisticated apps without actually writing lines of traditional code.
That's the idea.
Beyond just making it faster, what does that really unlock for a K-12 student? Is it about lowering the barrier, making it easier to try things out, or something more fundamental about how they even think about tech?
Both, really. The source states it allows for significantly faster product development. They claim up to 73% faster, with a 68% cost reduction compared to traditional methods.
Wow.
But the real innovation, like you said, is democratizing product creation. It means students can go from idea to prototype in days, maybe weeks, not months or years.
That rapid iteration.
Yeah.
That's key in startups.
Absolutely crucial. It lets them fail fast, learn quicker, build real confidence in their ability to make their ideas happen. It basically makes tech development accessible to all students regardless of prior coding experience, turns abstract concepts into something tangible.
Okay, that's powerful. What else?
Then there's the widespread problem of a scarcity of qualified mentors and industry expertise. This is a big one.
Yeah, finding experienced people willing to mentor kids.
Exactly. There's a global shortage of seasoned entrepreneurs and industry pros who can effectively work with K-12 students, especially in, say, geographically dispersed areas or underserved communities where local expertise might be limited.
Right.
So EON WealthWeaver tackles this by providing 247 access to over 500 vetted industry experts. But here's where it gets really innovative. It also provides photorealistic AI mentors.
Wait, AI mentors? That look like real people. And they can adjust their communication style for kids. That's pretty wild.
It is pretty advanced stuff.
Maybe they could teach me how to talk to my own kids
Ow.
sometimes. But seriously, okay, they offer scalability, constant access, which is great. But what are the potential limitations compared to a human mentor? You know, emotional intelligence, that spontaneous guidance you sometimes need. How does the platform make sure that crucial human element isn't totally lost?
That's a very perceptive question, and the source acknowledges it. Human connection is vital. The AI mentors are designed to complement the human experts, not replace them entirely.
Okay. A blended approach.
Exactly. They fill gaps in accessibility, provide consistent foundational guidance. They're programmed for that age-appropriate communication, flexible engagement. But think of them as a dynamic resource for common questions, skill building, reinforcing concepts.
Freeing up the humans for the deeper stuff.
Precisely. Freeing up human mentors for those deeper, more nuanced, emotionally resonant interactions. It aims for the best of both worlds.
Makes sense. Okay, you mentioned 4 key examples. What's the last one?
Right. The final big challenge we'll highlight is the lack of real market engagement. This happens a lot. Most K-12 student ventures tend to stay as academic exercises.
Yeah, they never leave the classroom.
They never reach real customers, never generate revenue, which honestly can be pretty disheartening for young innovators.
Sure.
So EON WealthWeaver addresses this with an integrated marketplace platform.
Okay, a marketplace. But the source mentions generating revenue within 90 days for 80% of students. That sounds incredibly high for young entrepreneurs, doesn't it?
It is ambitious.
Does the source elaborate on how they achieve that? Is it very structured projects? Pre-existing partnerships? Do they steer kids towards certain types of ventures?
It seems to be a combination of factors.
Yeah.
The integrated marketplace provides the e-commerce tools, yes, but it also leverages strategic partnerships to connect student ventures with actual potential customers.
So there's facilitation there.
Right. And that phrase, educational oversight, is key here. It's not just throwing them in the deep end. It's about providing structured support, guidance on market validation, business development coaching, helping students navigate the actual sales process.
So it shifts learning from just theory.
To truly practical application, connecting students directly to the market, but with built-in support mechanisms.
Got it. It's clear the platform covers a lot of ground then.
Yeah.
Identifying talent, building the product, getting mentorship, reaching the market. And you mentioned, while we only deep dived into these 4, the source says it also addresses other crucial things, like curriculum gaps, funding access, cultural fit, long-term ecosystems, helping teachers, even measuring the impact.
Yeah, the list is long. It aims to be very comprehensive.
But these examples really do highlight the innovative nature of the approach. Okay,
Right.
so we've explored how it aims to solve these problems, but the real question is, results, right? What kind of tangible outcomes are they actually seeing, or at least projecting?
Right, the so what factor. This raises that important question. What does all this actually mean for the students and the schools using it? The platform talks about transformational outcomes with quantifiable results. They break it down by time frame.
Okay.
In the immediate term, like 0 to 6 months, they project a 95% plus program completion rate. That suggests strong student engagement. They're sticking with it.
That's high.
Very high. They also aim for that 80% revenue generation within 90 days we talked about, tackling that theory to practice gap head on. And 90% team stability, trying to solve those classic group project nightmares.
Huh, yeah. Okay, that's short term. What about longer?
Looking at that systemic transformation, say over 24 months, the goals get even more ambitious. They project an 85% business sustainability rate beyond 12 months.
85% surviving a year. That's impressive.
It's a powerful indicator of real-world preparedness. Also, 60% successful funding acquisition, showing students are developing investor-ready skills.
Yeah.
And they project a 300% average revenue growth for these student ventures, which would validate authentic business building. Plus, they expect improved performance in STEM and business classes, showing academic benefits too.
Okay, and the really long view, 2 to 5 years out.
Yeah, the long-term 2-5 years. This is where they aim for that truly remarkable 75% business survival rate.
75%. Compared to what? Like 10% for typical startup?
Exactly. The often cited industry average is around 10%, so 75% suggests a vastly superior level of preparation. It is. Beyond that, they anticipate higher college acceptance rates, measurable economic development in local communities, and 100% sustainable business practice adoption, building responsible entrepreneurs. All these metrics tie back to that core goal: tangible, long-term success.
Okay, that's 75% business survival rate. That's just astounding compared to the 10% norm. That's not just an improvement. That feels like a paradigm shift, if they can actually achieve it.
If they can achieve it, yes.
What are the absolute critical foundational elements that the source points to for achieving such a dramatically higher success rate? Is it just the tech? Or is there some specific methodology embedded that makes a difference?
The source really attributes this projected success to the platform's holistic nature and its deeply integrated methodology. It's not just a box of tools.
Right.
It's presented as a complete ecosystem. It combines that robust AI for selection and development, the huge network of human and AI mentors, and direct market access.
All integrated.
All integrated. That comprehensive support, plus those Silicon Valley tested accelerator methods adapted for K-12. It means students aren't just learning theory, they're actively doing business, but within a supportive, success-focused framework. It moves beyond isolated learning to a true apprenticeship model for entrepreneurship.
That makes a lot of sense, having a complete, proven system, not just pieces. So given this comprehensive offering, what does the source say about its unique position? What makes EON WealthWeaver stand out from other edtech tools or initiatives trying to prep kids for the future?
Good question. The source highlights several key competitive advantages. First, it's integration versus fragmentation.
We touched on that.
Right. Unlike many tools that tackle just one problem, WealthWeaver is designed as a single, comprehensive ecosystem. No disconnected tools needing separate logins and management. It's all in one place, streamlining the whole journey.
Okay. What else?
Second, proven methodology versus theoretical approaches. It uses those Silicon Valley tested accelerator methods adapted for K-12. It's not based on untested educational theories with fuzzy outcomes. It's based on practices with a real track record in the startup world. Practical, results-driven.
Got it.
Third, measurable outcomes versus unmeasurable activities. It provides comprehensive analytics, live dashboards showing clear ROI. A lot of programs track activity, how many kids showed up. WealthWeaver aims to show tangible impact revenue generated, businesses launched, real value.
Moving beyond just participation trophies.
Kind of, yeah. And finally, global quality versus geographic limitations. It promises consistent, world-class delivery anywhere. So the quality of the education shouldn't depend on local resources or expertise. A standardized, high-caliber experience globally.
Okay, that covers the tech and method. But let's shift gears a bit. Crucial aspects. Equity, implementation. How does something like this ensure widespread access across different economic backgrounds, different regions? And just as important, how does it support the teachers? They're vital, right?
Yeah, absolutely vital questions for any global education initiative. And the source details plans for this. For global accessibility, WealthWeaver has several features.
Like what?
Well, cultural and linguistic solutions. The platform is available in over 15 languages. The content delivery is culturally adaptive, respecting local business norms and K-12 standards. So global relevance, local effectiveness.
Okay, languages and culture. What about cost? That's often a barrier.
Right. So economic accessibility solutions. They offer sliding scale pricing based on local economic conditions and school budgets. This is crucial to make sure it reaches underserved communities, developing markets, not just wealthy districts.
That's important for equity.
Definitely. And regarding technology infrastructure solutions, it's optimized to perform well even with varying school tech infrastructure and device capabilities. They promise high uptime, strong security, FERPA compliance for student data privacy.
Okay, so access covered. What about the teachers? They need support to use this effectively.
Totally. And that's where the Teacher Empowerment Toolkit comes in. This is critical. It provides complete curriculum resources.
Less lesson planning hassle.
Exactly. It aims to eliminate those barriers, especially for teachers who might not have a business background themselves. It also offers on-demand AI assistance for instant support if they get stuck.
KI for teachers, too.
Yes. Plus, professional development certification to build their confidence and skills, and global educator collaboration networks, connecting K-12 teachers worldwide for support and sharing best practices.
So it really isn't just a student tool. It shows a holistic understanding of the whole school ecosystem, supporting both students and the teachers on the front lines. That piece often gets overlooked.
It really does.
Okay. So to kind of bring it all together, EON WealthWeaver, as presented in this source, is designed as a complete response to that fundamental question facing K-12 education today. It's directly aiming to solve that disconnect between what schools currently teach and what this rapidly evolving AI-driven economy actually demands from its future workforce.
Precisely. And the stated goal isn't just for students to, adapt to an AI-driven future. It's for them to be equipped to actually lead and create opportunities within it.
From passive learners to active innovators.
That's the idea. The source emphasizes that every metric they plan to track is meant to demonstrate that this kind of comprehensive innovation education isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely essential for student success now.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you listening? If platforms like WealthWeaver really can transform K-12 entrepreneurship education by integrating AI, mentorship, real-world market access, what does that imply for other critical skills students will need in this AI-powered world, beyond just business?
Interesting question.
And maybe, how might we need to fundamentally rethink the structure of school itself, moving beyond traditional subjects to prioritize this kind of future-proof learning, creative problem-solving, collaboration, that rapid iteration we talked about? What new opportunities might this open up for innovation, maybe even far beyond the classroom walls? Lots to think about there.